Imagine you get a letter in the mail. It says, give me 12% of your income every month. In return, I promise to pay you back in 40 years. Oh, and one more thing. I might change the locks on the vault before you get there. Also, there is no vault. In the private sector, we call that a Ponzi scheme. In Washington, we call it a social contract. It's 2026, and the most successful chain letter in human history is running out of stamps. The accidental genius. Let's go back to 1935. The world was broken. The Great Depression was in full swing, and FDR needed a miracle. He signed the Social Security Act, and at the time, the math was actually kind of brilliant. The retirement age was set at 65, but here's the kicker. The average life expectancy back then, it was 61. You do the math. The system was literally designed for you to pay in your whole life and then die before you could collect a dime. It was the ultimate house always wins scenario. Then came Ida Mae Fuller, the original early adopter. She paid in a grand total of $24.75. She lived to be 100 and collected over $22,000. Ida Mae didn't just win the game, she broke the physics of the entire system. The pyramid flips. In the 1950s, the system was a party. We had 16 workers paying in for every one retiree. It was like 16 people carrying one person in a lazy boy. Easy. But then, things got modern. We started living longer and having fewer babies. The government, in a fit of generosity it couldn't afford, kept adding features like disability, survivors' benefits, and cost of living adjustments. By the time we hit the 2020s, that 16-to-1 ratio had shriveled to less than 3-to-1. Now it's 3 exhausted workers trying to carry a boomer in that same recliner, while the boomer yells at them to work harder. The math isn't just tight, the math is screaming. The P word. Now, let's talk about the P word, Ponzi. If you were in a room full of politicians and called the Social Security system a Ponzi scheme, they'll act like you just insulted their mother. But let's look at the checklist. 1. You use money from new investors to pay off old investors. Check. 2. There is no actual underlying investment. Check. 3. It requires an infinite stream of new suckers to stay afloat. Check. The only difference is that Charles Ponzi couldn't throw you in a federal cage if you refused to buy into his scheme. Your payroll taxes aren't sitting in a velvet-lined vault with your name on it. That money is long gone. It was spent the second it hit the account. Spent on aircraft carriers, foreign aid, secret wars, and interest on the debt. The trust fund is just a filing cabinet full of I.O.Us the government wrote to itself. It's like taking $20 out of your left pocket. It's putting a note in your right pocket that says, I owe me $20, and then calling yourself rich. The 2026 reality check. Here we are in 2026. The depletion date is no longer a conspiracy theory. It's on the front page. The trustees are admitting that by the early 2030s, the trust fund will be empty. That doesn't mean the checks stop. This means they get a haircut, a 20 to 25% cut across the board. Imagine finishing a 40-year marathon, crossing the finish line, and the referee tells you, great job. By the way, we're only giving you 75% of your trophy because we ran out of plastic. And while your future check is shrinking, your cost of living is doing backflips. When eggs cost as much as a small dowry, and health insurance premiums are rising at double digits, a 3% cost of living increase is a joke. The Great Escape. So, why am I telling you this? Is it to ruin your Monday? No. It's because in 2026, personal investing isn't a wealth-building strategy. It's your only exit ramp. You need to act like Social Security is a myth, a fairy tale told to you by a guy in a suit who wants your vote. If a check actually shows up in 30 years, great. That's your buy a jet ski money. But for your eating and having a roof over your head money, you have to be the CEO of your own retirement. Every dollar you put into a low-cost index fund, a Roth IRA, or a 401k is a dollar that you control. It's money that grows through the power of compound interest, the only force in the universe more powerful than government debt. When you invest personally, you aren't a participant in a scheme, you're an owner. You own pieces of the most profitable companies on earth. You aren't relying on a social contract that the other party can rewrite whenever they feel like it. Be your own safety net. This system was built for a world that died in the 1940s. A world where people didn't live to 80 and workers were plentiful. In 2026, the safety net is looking a lot more like a tightrope. You can't opt out of the tax, but you can opt out of the dependency. Stop waiting for the government to take care of future you. Future you is currently being sold out to pay for today's government spending. We have to build our own vault and start buying our own assets. We can't afford to depend on a government program with ever-changing rules. But you're not a victim unless you choose to be. Start today. Open that account. Increase that contribution. And take the steering wheel back from a government that's been driving with a blindfold on for 40 years. If you found this breakdown helpful, or if you just want to vent about being forced into a dying system, drop a comment below. I want to know, what's your plan B for when the trust fund runs dry? And hit that like button to help the algorithm find more people who need to hear the truth. Subscribe for more deep dives into the systems they didn't teach you about in school.